This is Natearah Austin, part of the Brenham Heritage Museum. Today is June the 17th, and I am interviewing Lloyd Mays, one of our local artists and poets. Lloyd, can you tell us a little bit about your background as an artist?
Sure. My background began when I was a very young child. I came from a large family, and so I would watch my brothers, who were also good artists, and I would try to imitate what they were doing. So it kind of began back then.
So was there something specific, you mentioned your family, but was there anything else that kind of sparked that need to create?
Well, yeah, it was a couple of things. First of all, that was an escape for me. A lot of times when I would feel bored or alone, I would draw in order to go off into a world that I could enjoy. And another reason was when I was coming through school, we had what we call a weekly reader, and we had to pay a 6-month subscription. And a lot of the times my mother would tell me to ask my father for the money. And I was so afraid of my father that a lot of times I wouldn't ask him for the money. I would try to earn it myself. So I would draw a lot of pictures at school, and a lot of my classmates would come around and they would offer to give me a nickel. And so I sold a nickel, here and a nickel there until I could come up with the 50 or 25 cents that I needed to pay for my subscription. So that was my need to do it.
Wow. How does your work as an artist connect you to your community, the Washington County, Brenham area, to your roots?
Well, I have a chance to reflect on my memories of growing up here in Brenham, Washington County area, because I think I was born at a time that was very unique in history, because I came on the tail of segregation and was right in the midst of integration. And so I got a chance to see the world from a lot of different perspectives. And so I think that was the connection that, kept me here in Brenham.
Great. So expanding on that connection, you're right. So many of your pieces center around African American families growing up in that time of integration and segregation. And we even see scenes from those segregated times. Why was it important to you to make sure that you depicted those in your paintings?
Because I always wanted to remember where I came from. And I wanted others to see something that you just can't picture from somebody talking to you. And as they say, a picture says 1,000 words. So I wanted to put those 1,000 words out there without saying anything.
So can you give us just more insight or a window into your creative process? So tell us a little bit about maybe the materials that you use when you're creating a painting.
Okay, my medium is acrylic, which is a water-based substance to do. I like acrylic because it dries fast and oil takes a long time. So I use that, and I often do it at home. So if I have a thought, I can put it down pretty quick and not have to worry about coming back and redoing it again.
Okay. Now, so you're at home creating these paintings oftentimes. When do you work? Is there a specific time of day or, specific day of the week?
No specific time. It's whenever I get that feeling, or either when I get a thought about something. And since I also do poetry, which comes a lot from just thinking about different things, once that starts to flow, then I want to paint it so that I can get a picture to people that wouldn't understand what I'm talking about.
Your work is really impressive, and just to hear that it's inspired by the thoughts that you have. How long does it typically take from the time that thought is planted to the time you actually complete a painting?
Well, it takes anywhere from 1 minute to months in order for me to do that, because sometimes I can think of something and I'll go right to it and get it out of my system, so to speak. But then other times I would start and I would get a little bored, and I'll put that painting away, and it may be months before I return to finish it.
Okay. So how many years have you been creating art? You talked about creating art as a child. How long have you created art?
Well, there again, it started when I was a child, but I got serious about it as an adult about maybe 25 years ago. I would draw at first, just pencil and paper, and then I started to experiment with painting, and I liked it, and so that's how it went.
What would you say to a young person who might be interested in becoming an artist or even a poet for that matter? And what nuggets of wisdom would you share?
Well, I would say with art, poetry, or anything, if you like doing something, keep doing it. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't even stop yourself if that's what you want to do. A lot of times people do things for the money, and you kind of get away from what you love in order to make a dollar. And it's fine, but at the same time, if you're not doing what you want to do, then you're not going to be happy.
So, for the next few months, your work is being exhibited at the Bus Depot Gallery in connection with the Brenham Heritage Museum. What can you tell us about the work and what the community should expect to see within that current exhibit?
Well, they should expect to see a variety of things. Some of the things that was done are from memories of me growing up, and other things are just when my mind floats away and I just go into that zone. But that's basically what I try to do, is things that happen around Brenham and Washington County, and sometimes other places. But I just want to keep that memory of how I grew up right here.
So, what's next for you? What's on the horizon for you, and how can fans and followers find out more about what's happening with you?
Well, on my horizon, I want to be rich and famous. But I really do want to keep painting around Brenham and Washington County and other places also. And I just want to evolve into a better painter and to be able to let my feelings show through my work.
So, what do you hope that people who see your work take away from it? What do you want to leave them with if someone has come to see the exhibit or look at your paintings or read your poetry?
Well, I like them to know that I'm just a basic person like anybody else that love doing what they do. And I would like them to say, well, hey, he's doing this because he loves it, and I'd like to do things I want to do because I love it, and accept each other for what they do and for who they are, rather than who we think they should be.
Great. Well, thank you, Mr. Mays, for all of your insights. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.